testified, and it's in your statement as well, at paragraph 12, that one of the people that you called to the scene is your brother, Sergeant Phakula, who works in a dog unit. That you remember that?
Yes, I remember that, Commissioner.
Yes, the canine unit. And
yes.
You accept that the reason why you need dogs to be there is to sniff out possible drugs at the premises, among other things.
Yes, correct, Commissioner.
Yes. And I spent the whole lunchtime trying to figure out, looking at different sources, following from what the exchange we're having with the chair, that you could smell or you can smell cocaine. And I think your version was then to say, no, it's not cocaine, I could smell drugs on the scene. You remember that? Remember that exchange between you and the chair?
Yes.
Yes. And in this particular instance, I want to demonstrate to you that is complete untruthfulness to say that you could smell cocaine. Otherwise, first of all, you would not need to have sniffer dogs if you yourself could smell any drugs, as you put it, whatever format that they are. Because when you say you can smell drugs, that means you can sniff out any of those drugs. But in particular in this matter, I want to have a look at this picture of how these drugs were wrapped. Chair, can we go to CJC 204?
CJC
204.
204.
Yes. That is a picture of the bags containing the alleged drugs at that stage. And if you go further down, you'll see that those bricks in there, they are tightly wrapped. In fact, a witness came to testify here on Monday, specifically on how tightly wrapped these drugs are, especially because they have to travel across the ocean to avoid moisture and anything else. So they are tightly wrapped with plastic and also with labeling materials and put inside the
Actually, sorry to
Yes,
interrupt. Actually, from what we see at page 4, 2 pages back, yes, there's what looks like plastic, just ordinary black plastic. And then my understanding is that inside those, let's go to page 5, inside those there's a canvas bag.
Yes.
And then inside the canvas bag is what you see on top of this canvas bag, and also where you took us to, Mr. Musigiri. You see this
Yes, I
warrant
can see
officer
that,
at page 6.
Yes,
It's so it's the outer plastic bag, it's the canvas bag, and then it's the plastic wrapping inside the canvas bags.
Yes, Commissioner.
Yeah, you may continue with your point, Mr. Musigiri.
Yes, thank you, Chair. And the point I'm putting to you is that not only were you untruthful to the Chair when you say you could smell cocaine, but I'm putting it to you, given how they are wrapped, given the research that I've conducted over the lunchtime, you cannot smell, you could not have possibly smelled any drugs under those circumstances. So your version that you could smell the drugs, it's completely false. What do you say?
I disagree with you, Commissioner. That's how. There was one bag. I'll look at the pictures that was opened. In one of the pictures, it shows the bag that was open. So from then, that's when you could see that.
Maybe let's then explore this. Did you go there with your nose smelling each and every bag? Or how did the smelling happen?
No, I can't
or
go.
there's just, sorry?
No, I didn't go through each and every bag. But from what I could see with the package, with the packaging and all that, I could suspect it's drugs there, and from the smell that came from touching these things.
No, but you didn't touch anything on your own testimony. But that's besides the point. You could not have smelled the drugs wrapped in that way, and second, the drugs do not smell. And your suggestion that you could smell the drugs, it's completely false.
No, I disagree.
Okay.
That's how could.
Unless you are a special corp that can smell
Can
drugs.
can you please explain this thing you're saying about a bag? You say that was open.
Yes, at the later stage, there was a bag that was, I think one of the bags was open.
You say at a later stage. At what stage was that?
During that chaos, I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was during that chaos that when.
I also took you to page 5, and the bag at page, the canvas bag at page 5 is open. Is that what you mean by an open bag?
No, not this one, Commissioner.
What do you? 7. There's another one at 7. Is that what you mean?
No, from the pictures that are on top of when they were still on top of the buggy.
On the buggy.
Yes, Commissioner.
So you want that picture where your car is in front
Yes.
to
Yeah, I
the
think
right?
it's-
You
I
want
think
that picture?
I think it's that one, Commissioner.
Can you please take us to that picture?
109. Same file.
Yes, please show us the open bag. Are you there?
Yes.
Show us the open bag.
Please look at the screen behind you.
Oh, yes. I think it was one of these. Can I point?
Yes, please. Uchole.
As you can see, the plastic was already torn off.
And so?
So from touching, then you could smell. I smelled it starting.
No. So I don't see any difference between this and what I showed you at, was it 5 and 7? There's no difference. There is not just, it's not just tears on the plastic bag, but these have actually been taken out of the bags. And yet you see that what's inside is still sealed. It's still sealed in plastic. So it's not as if once you have tears like you show us there, you see drugs that are bare, uncovered.
No, they were not bare.
Yes,
There were
yes.
bricks inside.
So I don't understand then, just because you saw tears on the bags, that should mean that you could then smell the drugs.
It's my submission, Commissioner.
No, you're just relying on that just because you saw the tears on the plastic bags, that's all.
No, Commissioner.
But anyway, all of that is irrelevant, because when I engaged you earlier, you accepted that you have no idea whatsoever how cocaine smells. And yet you had said to Commissioner Khumalo, you smelt the cocaine. And on that basis, I said you lied. Because later, when I'm engaging you, you accept that you do not know how cocaine smells. And yet you had said you smelt the cocaine. So I'm saying none of this is irrelevant to the extent that now you are digging in your heels, as it were. All of that is irrelevant, because the bottom line is that you lied. You do not know how cocaine smells, and you lied when you said to Commissioner Khumalo, you smelt the cocaine. So I don't think...
Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
We can't take it further, but perhaps to say to him, the proposition I want to put to him is that in essence, then, if he could not smell, then he must have known for a fact that there are drugs there. And the question is, how did he know that it's in fact cocaine in there? Because he couldn't have smelled.
No,
What is your comment?
I did not know for a fact what kind of drug is that one. I did not know that for a fact.
And just to close it, you are now relying on the obvious tears that you see to try to bolster your version that you did smell. I will not say cocaine because you accepted you do not know how it smells. To bolster your version that you smelled drugs. Your comment?
No, I'm not taking advantage of the bag, Commissioner.
And what drugs, what smell of drugs was this that you are referring to? We know that you do not know how cocaine smells, but you say that you smelled drugs. What drugs? And what smell of drugs?
No, it should have been any scent that was coming from.
And what makes that drugs?
Because the information was that it's suspected drugs, I concluded it.
So
was.
it becomes drugs just because you've been told that the suspicion was that there were drugs in the truck.
Yes, Commissioner. That's how I came to that conclusion.
Thank you.
Maybe let me start off by adding, you've heard what the evidence leader says he's proposing in fact was happening. Let me add to why the explanation that you're giving to why you say you smelled cocaine and later drugs is not correct. It can be. It's untruthful actually, because you said to us in your testimony earlier, you did not touch those bags that you found, that you saw in the bakkie, because you did not want to contaminate the exhibits any further. That was your evidence. When you were asked, why did you not, now that you're in charge of the scene, why did you not order that those bags should be taken off the bakkie? Because they shouldn't be on the bakkie. And you said, I didn't want to touch anything further because they had already contaminated that. So it's a lie that you touched those bags on the basis of that kind of evidence. Or you did touch the bag, and so you lied earlier when you said, I didn't want to touch the bags. I didn't touch them. I didn't want to touch them because they had already been contaminated. The two can't both be true. Do you accept that?
I accept that, Commissioner.
Okay. The second reason I say your explanation is false is that you wouldn't have written in your statement, there's that paragraph where you describe the scene. You say the crime scene was handled and there was nothing out of place. Yes. If you had seen that one of the bags was torn or was open, you would have said that. Otherwise, you saw it and you lied and said the scene was intact. Everything was in place when in fact you had seen that there was a bag that was open. So again, the two versions can't stand. You can't say there was a bag on the scene that was open when in fact your statement says there was full compliance with the instruction on handling a crime scene. All the exhibits were in their original place and they were I think the word, I don't remember the word, but they were not tampered with, basically. That's what you're saying.
Yes. Commissioner, if you can look at this picture, the scene was now out of my control.
Yeah, so you didn't touch at this point. This is a picture you see after the fact, when now things, we have a trial. You didn't see it on the day, this picture. So do not use this picture to support what you're saying. You either on the scene, when you touch the exhibit, yes, actually, at paragraph 23 of your statement, you say, at this stage, the scene, this is, you were speaking to Jolene, she was shaken. And then at 23, you were trying to take a statement. And at 23, you say, at this stage, the scene was under control. The exhibits were still secured in bags in their original form, not tampered with. The crime scene was still under investigation as witnesses were interviewed and suspects under arrest. Dog unit was summoned as well as the photographer. So you tell us and whoever you were reporting to at the time that the bags were in their original form, they were not tampered with. So when you say now to us that one of the bags was torn, what I'm saying to you, what I'm putting to you is then paragraph 23 is untruthful, where you communicate that the exhibits were in their original form because according to you, a bag was torn, was open. And your statement should have said that if that was the case. You want to comment?
Yes, please, Commissioner Baloy. At that time, while I was taking down the statement after my arrival, it was intact. Yes. So this photo shows at a later stage. As you can see, that's when Mohana is already is placed in the car, and the scene was no more in our control. That's where I observed that scene.
No, you touched. You touched. Remember, the issue now is the scene being, you say you touched, a bag was open. That's the only way you could have touched.
Yes, yes.
So the bag had to have been open.
Yes.
For you to touch it.
Yes.
And smell it.
Correct.
Yes.
And I also admit that I did not put that in my statement.
So you're saying to us now that you in fact did touch the exhibits while you were on the scene.
Correct, yes, that's what I'm saying.
So when you told us earlier that you did not touch, when you were asked specifically the question, why did you, when you got there and you saw these things on the back of the bakkie, why did you not instruct that they be removed? Why did you not remove them? And you said, I saw you not remove them. And you said, I saw that they had already been touched and I didn't want to add further to what is the word? Tampering, yes. Contamination is the word I was looking for. Thank you, Chair. You didn't want to contaminate further. So earlier on, you told us you didn't touch these bags. Now you say you touched it.
Correct.
But they can't both be true. There's where one of them is false. You can choose, you can tell us which one is false because you said two different things that cannot both be true. One of them is false. The question is, and maybe let's simplify it so that we finish very quickly this question, which of the two versions that cannot stand together is false?
I think let's take it this way, Commissioner. I did not submit it in the statement that I touched. So if the paragraph 20, the one that the Commissioner was reading, it is what it is when I arrived at that time.
Okay, I want to be clear. Are you now telling us you did touch these exhibits while they were on the scene? Is that what the last word on this?
Yes, Commissioner.
Okay, so your earlier evidence that you didn't touch these because you didn't want to contaminate them any further is false. It must follow. That statement is false.
I concede, Commissioner.
Thank you. The other question, the question that I wanted to ask is, you are told by General Khan to stand down, you tell us.
Yes.
And you understood, you were asked the question, what does that mean? And it is, don't be involved any further. In the light of that kind of instruction, you go to the bakkie to retrieve the two,
Seals.
what do they call it? So the seals, I think it's too long in the days. You go to retrieve the two seals. Did you put those seals there?
No.
How did you know they were there?
I knew because I was with Mokhana and Mashaba on the scene.
So you did go to the front of the van? Because you tell us those
Yes.
seals were on the seat.
On the left passenger side, on the where the foot.
So you went and you saw them there, the seals.
Yes.
Did you ask why are these seals here? Because you know that's not the original site of those scenes. That's not where they were originally, those exhibits. Did you ask Mokhane, where do these come from? As in, where did you remove them and why are they here?
Yes, he explained. He found this like the seals. One of the seals was broken, and the other one he found in the back of the trailer.
Did you ask him why did he remove them where they were? You know about crime scene management. You've told
Yes.
us that you
Yes.
know. So you know that things must be left in situ, right?
Yes.
Until the photographer and LCRC arrives and take note of everything that's there. You know all of those things. Did you ask Warrant Officer Mokhane, why did you remove them from where you found them?
Yes, and his explanation was simply because he wanted to put them safe where when the photographer comes, they can be easily accessed.
Did you tell him that's not what we do? That's
Yes.
against, you've
Yes.
contaminated the scene.
Yes.
So when you now want to take them to the photographer after you were told, stop being involved,
Yes.
you continue to be involved.
Yes.
When you want to take them to the photographer, you want the photographer to do what with them?
No, she take photos and
In your hands, would you? They are not where they're supposed to. One, they've been removed from their original position in the container. Two, you've removed them from where Mokhano put them. Mokhano and Mashaba, you've removed them. So you removed them from two locations. When they've been removed from two locations, the photographer comes, you don't take the photographer to where you say you found them, so that the photographer can take them in that position and say, well, this is where I found them. We need to get an explanation. You take them. Your intention is what? Is to hold them in your hand and say, here are the seals, take pictures of them.
Commissioner, remember when I'm told to stand down, I have to hand over the scene, obviously. So the exhibits that was in my possession, I had to give it over to the photographer.
So that which was put by Mokhane in your car, in his car, is in your possession. That's how you're telling us now.
No,
That-
as a
well,
crime-
actually, the seals were in your possession.
As a crime scene manager,
Yes.
the seal was as well. I was accounting for it, so that's why I handed over to the photographer.
Sibula was there at that point. He had arrived at the scene.
No.
He hadn't yet
No,
arrived.
I haven't seen him. Yes.
Okay, but do you know, if you didn't know then, do you know that what you did is contrary to proper crime scene management? That you remove those seals from where you found them and you want to take them to the photographer? Do you know now that that's not proper crime scene management?
I'd like to put it like this, Commissioner. When we deal with such scenes where exhibits might get lost or whatever the reason might be, you have to take steps that will preserve whatever it is the exhibit that you are. And at that time, I thought I'm doing the right thing by taking them to the photographer.
No, you couldn't have thought you were doing the right thing. There was no way of it getting lost when all that's happening is the photographer taking a picture. If you went to the photographer, they've been sitting there, according to you. General Khan tells you that stop whatever you are doing. You defy it, in fact, and go and do something else, to go and point out to the photographer, here are the seals that I found. So if you had taken the photographer to go and take a picture, as the instruction requires you to do, they wouldn't have gotten lost. There was no risk of them getting lost, just because the photographer is taking a picture of them, unless you're saying you were concerned the photographer will take them and put them in your pocket.
No. It could have been either way. Whether I went to fetch the photographer, and again, if I approach the photographer, it was going to be as if I'm still interfering. So the best way was to take this thing to her. That's an honest explanation regarding that thing.
Do you accept that is contrary what you were doing? And if your answer is yes, I'm going to leave this topic. Do you accept, as I suggest you must, that you're removing these seals from the bakkie where they were to want to take them to the photographer is in breach of the protocol about proper handling of exhibits on a crime scene?
I agree.
Thank you.